The future of public transportation in Gauteng looks a lot safer for commuters after the Gauteng Division of the High Court in Pretoria granted powers to the Department of Roads and Transport to put taxi associations under its administrative oversight.
The pressure on the taxi industry is quite huge with COVID-19. How are they solving it? They are adopting the most backward, really most pathetic methods of solving problems, and one of them is taxi violence, taking the barrel of the gun and making it the instrument of resolving difficulties. So that's why we are seeing renewed taxi violence. We're seeing resurgence in the taxi violence. And it was in this context that we then decided that if we don't act and act faster, quicker, promptly, and swiftly, we're going to see a spike that is going to overwhelm us in the province. And that's why it was important to take the most drastic measures ever taken in history. If you look just at one community, Mamelodi, where there's an association called MATA, 25 people were killed in the last 3-4 years, and most of them this year, even during the COVID-19 period. And when you place an association under administration and appoint an administrator, we have seen positive results. That area used to be riddled with disruption of public transport because of internal fights. And the placing it under administration has actually helped. It has given us stability, it has given us peace, it has given commuters relief.
We speak to Theo Malele, a National Taxi Alliance representative who shares his thoughts on this development.
Look, I think it will have positive results. You would know that if Gauteng coughs, the whole country catches flu. So we are of the opinion that once it works perfectly in Gauteng, it should work in other provinces. The industry had also been able to can pull wool over its members by getting professionals to cook their books to foster balance, cash reconciliations. And you actually needed to have a form of regulation that would actually come into play so that these very people that are actually misusing funds, for purposes best known to them, but that come out later to become violence, are actually nipped in the bud.
So we came into a discussion with the taxi industry that these two issues of internal rifts, illegal collection of money, unaccounted for, requires a resolution, and that's how we signed the resolution. The resolution itself makes provision for the MEC to make this an order of court, because I knew that a resolution just on its own will not have the power to be implemented. We also know the weaknesses in the law enforcement. So we needed a court order which will empower us to say to the police, you have a responsibility to enforce a court order. Our country is founded on the principle of the rule of law. The police will have to implement a court order. In other words, we are now empowering members of the communities, we are empowering taxi operators, taxi drivers, anyone can go to a police station and say they are collecting money illegally there. The police will be expected to act. Where the police don't act, they themselves will be in contempt of court, because this is expressly stated in the court order that South African Police Service will have to implement this. So there are also other things we need to do. One of them, we need to look at the institutions that are meant to prevent money laundering. We need to bring them in as partners, because in matters like this, you need stakeholders, you need partners, you need to bring in the capacity of the state and relevant institutions with the people, with the industry itself, to be able to deal with these issues.
We actually are moving in the right direction to begin to think right outside the box and ensure that the future of the taxi industry remains intact. I mean, this being the only black-owned and controlled business, it has to survive. And the only best way for it to survive is for it to be corporatized and be run like a professional, public transport body. And this could have happened, many moons ago had we had the authorities with a similar appetite with that of the current, authority.
Hi guys, my name is Boiti and you're watching Joburg Today.